Okay, before we talk about books, I have to show you my nails. I recently went to an online color street party, I guess you would say. Sarah Swan from Sarah's Nightstand hosted it, and I just did these today for the first time, and I really like them. I think that I have found something really pretty. I don't know if you can see, they're orange in real life, but they may not come across as orange on the video. But I'm so proud of myself that I got that done. So thanks, Sarah. Hey, BookTube, it's Lori, and today's video is all about my Spookathon TBR. I'm getting this uploaded late, but I had decided to participate in Spookathon a bit ago. So Spookathon is a readathon that's hosted by Kayla at Books and Lala. Her channel is large and well known, and I do enjoy her videos as well as her readathon. So she's also the creator of a few other readathons, but Spookathon begins tomorrow, October 14th, and it goes through October 20th. This will be a challenge for me in many ways because this is my last week before I go out of town, and I'm really going out of town. I'm going to Prague for a week. So I am really doing some things now that I wouldn't normally do because I'm going to be gone for a while. But I will have a really long flight to Prague, so I feel like whatever I don't get read during the week, I will be able to finish, hopefully, on that flight. So I've picked 4 books, but I'm really thinking that I'll be doing well to get through 3. So the challenges or prompts for Spookathon are as follows. Read a thriller. Really easy to do. Read a book with red on the cover. Read a book with a spooky word in the title. Read a book with a spooky setting, and read something you wouldn't normally read. Now, I have taken a bit of a liberty with that one, and I'll tell you why in a minute. There's 2 that fill the read a thriller category, but the first book on my list is Watch Me Die by Erica Spindler. I've had this book on my shelves for a bit. I got it at the library book sale a few years ago, and I actually met Erica Spindler at the library's Authors and Characters event. This one does also have red on the cover. It is a thriller, and I would say it's set in a spooky setting. So this could fulfill 3 of those challenges. So it's actually set in New Orleans, which is a very spooky, haunted kind of a city anyway. But it's set after Katrina, which was a really spooky time in New Orleans. You know, I live near New Orleans, and it was just a really scary time. The city was not at all like it was. None of our communities were the way they were, and it was just, But anyway, this story follows a woman named Mira, whose husband dies in the storm, and after the storm, she discovers that there are some weird things happening, and there's a person who keeps leaving her messages and notes, and at one point, she's restored church windows that were vandalized, and the priest who watches over that church is murdered, and the words, "He will come again to judge the living and the dead," is written in the church on those windows. That's all I really want to know about this, but I've heard that a lot of people that I know locally like Erica Spindler. I think she is from this area. She is. She's outside of New Orleans. So I think she lives near me, actually. I love this cover. There's lots of red on the cover. New Orleans is a great community. Lots of cemeteries, and they bury their dead above ground in New Orleans because the whole city is below sea level, and so it's just a really spooky setting for sure. And I'm excited to get the chance to take a look at this finally, and that this is an opportunity for me to add it to my list. My goal is to finish the hard copies that I have to read before I go to Prague, because I don't want to take any books with me, because I want to buy books while I'm there. So That's the book. The next book that's on my list fulfills a couple of prompts, I think. So it is By the Pricking of My Thumbs by Agatha Christie. The prompts that this fulfills really are to read a book with a spooky word in the title, which I think pricking is a bit of a spooky word, and the whole title is spooky. There's a whole spooky premise around this phrase, which came originally from Shakespeare's Macbeth. One of the witches said, "By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes." It was later adapted into a Ray Bradbury short story, and basically it's kind of a it's kind of clear and familiar language to talk about something really creepy, witchy, and spooky. I'm also fulfilling the challenge, read something you wouldn't normally read, and here's why this works for that. This is a Tommy and Tuppence mystery by Agatha Christie. Tommy and Tuppence Beresford are some detectives that she wrote a few stories about. You know, Hercule Poirot is her main detective, male detective character, and then Miss Marple is her female detective character. But Tommy and Tuppence were a lesser prolific couple of detectives that she wrote about, and then there were a couple of her novels where there's none of them are the detectives, but this one is a Tommy and Tuppence, and it also, I guess, for some people, a spooky setting is a nursing home. So this one, it takes place at Sunny Ridge, which is a home for elderly ladies, and there's a couple of women there that are interesting to Tuppence when she goes to visit Tommy's Aunt Ada, and one of them speaks aloud some things that are a little bit creepy, and then somebody is murdered, and so they are there to discover what happened. I have never read this one. I also picked it up somewhere at a used sale. This is a pretty old copy because it's an older cover, and it says it's a book club edition, so I'm guessing that was a long ago purchase by someone. It has deckled edges. It's not in the best shape. It's got some staining. I probably got it at the book sale too, but nevertheless, I love it, and I want to take a look at this, and it's pretty short. So that will definitely fulfill a couple of those challenges. Then the next book I want to read is called He Said, She Said by Erin Kelly. This is a thriller that I recently picked up for my Kindle. It was on sale one day, and I got an email about it, and so I picked it up that day and didn't really think about it working for Spookathon, but it does. I don't guess I need any others to fulfill any of these challenges, but it's a thriller, and so I want to take a look at that. And I've never read anything and hadn't actually heard of Erin Kelly until the other day. So this book follows a couple who meet while they're watching an eclipse, and it's the first eclipse for her, and he's been kind of a follower of those kinds of events, and they meet and they witness some sort of a crime or almost crime, I guess. I don't want to know a whole lot about it, but the main character goes to the police to talk about what happened, and then something happens to them as a result, and they have to kind of go off the grid to stay safe. So I can read it on my iPad while I'm traveling, and it looks like it's gotten pretty good buzz. I haven't heard anyone on BookTube talking about this, and it has a 3.86 rating on Goodreads. So that's a good rating for a thriller that's fairly, I mean, I haven't heard anything about it. And then finally, if there's time, I would like to get to Halloween Party by Agatha Christie as well. This one is a Hercule Poirot mystery, and it again has a spooky word in the title, Halloween for sure. And it is set in a home where there is a Halloween party going on, and one of the girls, she's I think a young girl, says something about how she has witnessed or been witness to a murder. And then later she's found dead, having died asphyxiated or drowned essentially in the bobbing for apples tub. She was maybe held down in the tub of water with the apples. And then Hercule Poirot is called in to investigate what is potentially a double murder, because they don't think that her death in the tub of apples was an accident. I've read this one, but it's been a long, long time, and so it's been kind of on my thoughts this month. And when I was thinking about my TBR for Spookathon versus my TBR for October, I thought, oh, I'll just add this one to Spookathon. It's pretty short too. Most of Agatha Christie's novels are pretty short. So none of these books are really long. I think He Said, She Said is the longest on the list. And I have a couple of ways to listen and read on ebook, and then of course these two in hardback. So I think even if I take off, Watch Me Die is a little less available in all formats than the others. So I'm probably going to start with that one and try to get as much of it knocked out as I can in the first couple of days. And it'll be a stretch because I'm having to get all the work that I need to get done this week. I'm having to pack for my trip. I have to get some currency exchange. But basically, I'm feeling a lot better about my preparation for this trek across the world and very excited about it. I'm going to be there for an ICF, International Coach Federation conference, which those are always fantastic, and they give me lots of good information about coaching and how to develop myself as a coach. And I'm also going with a team of people that I do some work for, and we're going to all go together and have a lovely time and do some other events while we're there and that are connected to the work that we do. And so it's just going to be a great, great week, and I can't wait to tell you about it. Will I vlog on my trip? I don't know. I have tried vlogging a couple of times and I really suck at it. I really, really do. But mostly it's because I'm here at home and nothing is happening, so I don't think anything is really filming worthy. So I might vlog in Prague. That's interesting to say. I might vlog in Prague because there's a lot of things to showcase, including some really great bookstores. So stay tuned. We'll see how I do. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for being a subscriber. If you are, if you're not, I would invite you to become one. I'm so thrilled to see the new subscribers that I've had lately, and I hope you enjoy this content. There's lots of other videos for you to take a look at. And be sure to like this video. If you do, share your Spookathon TBR if you're participating, or just what you're reading this next week would be fine too. And as always, I hope you have a great reading day. Bye.